I froze in the doorway of Kyle's off-campus apartment in Tucson, Arizona, my keys still jingling in my hand like some bad omen. The scene hit me like a dust storm rolling off the Sonoran Desert, everything familiar but twisted out of place. My sister Leah was lounging on his worn leather couch, legs crossed casually, wearing my favorite faded denim jacket, the one I'd been hunting for since last weekend. She threw her head back in laughter, exposing her neck like she owned the room. Kyle stood by the kitchen counter, looking like a guy caught in a cattle stampede, shoulders hunched, feet shifting uneasily. "Taylor." Leah's voice dripped with fake surprise. "I thought you had that psych lab until 6. "Professor Ramirez called it off early," I replied, my tone flat as the Arizona flats. Kyle's eyes bounced between us like a ping-pong ball. "She just dropped by to chat about family stuff," he said, hands up in defense. That's when I spotted it, the coffee mug on the table in front of her, smeared with a perfect imprint of her cherry red lipstick, the same shade glinting on her lips right now. My phone buzzed in my pocket once, twice, 3 times. We were talking about Thanksgiving plans, right, Key? Leah smiled, using the nickname I'd given him, her voice laced with that possessive edge. Kyle rubbed the back of his neck, avoiding my gaze. "Yeah, something like that." His eyes fixed on anything but me, the floor, the wall, the saguaro cactus poster on the far side. My phone kept vibrating, notifications piling up from the university's gossip app. Wildcat whispers. It was prime time for drama, right as everyone headed to dinner under the setting sun. I didn't check them. I didn't need to. Flashbacks hit me hard, like heat waves off blacktop.
2 years back.
My high school graduation in our family's ranch-style home outside Phoenix. Mom had gone all out with barbecue and string lights in the backyard, calling it your big day. Taylor. I'd barely unwrapped my gifts when Leah clinked her glass, flashing a shiny new engagement ring.
Surprise.
Ethan proposed last night. The cheers drowned out everything else. Then there was my first college boyfriend, Jake. How Leah kept bumping into us at our favorite taco truck or the hiking trails near campus. She'd text him about surprise plans for my birthday, and soon he was dropping her name in every chat until he bailed with, "We want different things." Mom's voice echoed in my head. "She's just outgoing." Taylor. You're reading too much into it. That's what sisters do in big families like ours. That freshman year, standing in my dorm at the University of Arizona, I taped up photos and whispered to myself,
"No more."
"This ends here." Kyle shifted again, snapping me back. His phone lay unlocked on the counter. A text banner popping up. Leah Morgan. "Thanks for the coffee chat. Let's grab another soon." Something inside me clicked into focus. I kept my face neutral. That practice smile I'd honed from years of family rodeos and holiday photos. The one that made Mom say,
"See?
You girls get along just fine." "Sounds good," I said evenly. "Don't let me crash the party." Leah's purse sat open on the table, a stack of what looked like old photos peeking out, more ammo for whatever rodeo she was running. "I forgot about my study group," I lied smoothly. "Abnormal psych project due tomorrow." I glanced at my watch for show. "You two catch up." "But you just got here," Kyle protested, finally meeting my eyes. Panic flickered there. Maybe guilt. "Duty calls," I said with a tight smile. "See you later." I turned and walked out, shutting the door softly. In my beat-up Jeep parked under the palm trees, my hands shook as I finally opened Wildcat Whispers. The top post, a photo of Kyle and Leah at the campus coffee spot, heads close over a table, her hand on his arm. His Wildcats basketball jacket gave him away. Caption: Hoops star cozying up with GF sis? Family fireworks incoming. A text from Leah dinged. Heading out. Let's plan Thanksgiving soon. I started the engine. Fingers steady now. The dashboard clock glowed 5:53 p.m., 6 minutes since I'd walked in. 6 minutes to confirm the suspicions brewing for weeks. Not this time, I muttered, pulling onto the sun-baked street. This time, I had a plan. The next day, I sat in my dorm flipping through my purple leather journal, the one I'd started after Jake ghosted me freshman year, only to show up at a family barbecue asking Leah about her grad program. Sunday dinners at our parents' sprawling adobe home in Scottsdale followed the same script. Mom fussing in the kitchen, refusing help but griping about it. Dad glued to his phone for work calls until the food hit the table. Leah arriving late with some bombshell that stole the spotlight, and me slipping away mid-meal with a bathroom break excuse.
Today,
I had 20 minutes tops before anyone noticed. I snuck upstairs to Leah's old room, kept pristine for her convenience despite her apartment downtown. My fingers rifled through her nightstand, nothing but makeup and receipts. Under the bed, a box of mementos, concert stubs, cards, a necklace I'd lost last summer at the lake. The closet was clean until I spotted a leather notebook tucked behind winter coats on the top shelf. I dragged over a chair, heart pounding like thunder in the desert. What I found chilled me to the bone: pages detailing Kyle's basketball schedule, favorite hiking spots, burger joint prefs,
coffee order.
A photo of him dunking, time-stamped 3 weeks ago. Another of him leaving the psych building last month. Screenshots of texts with someone labeled F. F. Still with her? L for now. Playing the long game. F. Remember Dorian? Take it slow. L. Trust me. Her type is easy pickings. Operation Dust Up needs patience. I snapped photos with my phone, hands steady from years of lab work. Breathing even in for 4, out for 4. Like my therapist taught last year when I'd finally sought help for what Mom called sibling rivalry. She's just competitive. Taylor, Mom had said after the Jake mess. Don't be so dramatic.
Dr.
Ellis suggested boundaries. Space helps spot toxic patterns. I nodded but stuck around. Family ties in the West run deep, like roots in dry soil. Dad's mantra: Morgans stick together, through dust and drought. Footsteps creaked on the stairs, Leah's signature boot clomp. I shoved the notebook back, grabbed a perfume bottle as the door swung open. Taylor. Her surprise looked real, but I'd seen her fake it plenty. What are you doing here? I held up the bottle. Borrowing your vanilla scent. Hope that's cool. Her eyes scanned the room. Mom's serving the brisket soon. Don't snoop. Wouldn't dream of it, I said, spritzing my wrist casually, pulse racing. After she left, I slipped out, evidence secure. Tomorrow, I'd loop in my roommate Sarah. I needed backup. Sarah stirred her iced tea the next morning at the campus cantina, the smell of fresh tortillas wafting around us. I've seen her at every home game this season, she said, tucking her sun-bleached hair behind her ear. My cousin and admin mentioned whispers, nothing filed, but enough to raise brows. I gripped my coffee mug, grounding myself amid the bustle of students grabbing breakfast burritos. What kind of whispers? Sarah leaned in. Boundary stuff, especially with jocks in relationships. Jeremy from the team tipped me off weeks ago that Leah was lingering at practices, chatting up Kyle. I thought of Professor Ramirez, my psych mentor, who'd greenlit my project on family dynamics with extra zeal. This could be eye-opening. Taylor, she'd said, her gaze lingering. Had she suspected? That night in my dorm, overlooking the twinkling lights of Tucson. I tested a voice recorder app on my phone, clear audio from 6 feet if hidden right. I stared at my textbook. Chapter on narcissistic traits highlighted, and texted Kyle. Study sesh tomorrow. Library. Usual spot? He replied fast, you bet. 4 p.m. I confirmed, mapping the plan. I'd stash my stuff strategically. Forget to grab my phone when stepping away for a book hunt. Doubt nagged like a cactus spine, Mom's voice. You're paranoid. Taylor. But the journal. Photos. Texts about Operation Dust Up. This was calculated. Evidence over emotion. I reminded myself. Armor against the ache. The next afternoon, I claimed our table in the university library. Sunlight streaming through windows onto red rock views. Kyle's gym bag slumped under his chair.
Notes sprawled next to his psych text.
Professor Ramirez wants solid sources on family manipulation, I said, underlining a section. Think we can wrap before close? Kyle nodded. Focused. If we divide and conquer. I checked my watch, 4:17. Leah's lit class ended at 4:30. She'd need 10 minutes to cross campus. Maybe stop to schmooze her prof. 20-minute window. Gotta grab that sibling rivalry paper by Dr. Harlan, I said, pocketing my phone casually. It's in the stacks. I'll tackle methods, Kyle said, not looking up. I navigated the shelves. Scent of old paper calming me. In the psych section, I slid my phone between 2 hefty tomes on attachment, angled toward our table. Timer, 4:26.
Spot on.
I actually hunted Harlan's paper, finding it in a 2018 journal. Then I looped back via philosophy, approaching from behind. There she was, Leah leaning over the table. Voice hushed. Hand on Kyle's arm. Her hair, styled fresh, fell forward in her new yellow blouse. Never seen it before. Kyle sat rigid, shoulders up, pen gripped white-knuckled, staring at his book. Through a shelf gap, I watched, touches to his shoulder. Hand, arm quick. Deniable if you ignored the history. Like with Jake and Dorian. She checked her watch. Straightened, fingers trailing his back as she left. I counted to 60 after she exited, then returned. Got it, I said, dropping the journal. Kyle jumped, smiled too big.
Awesome.
I outlined methods. His pencil tapped nervously. Your sis swung by. Nice of her. I highlighted a manipulation passage. Done with cognitive dev? The tapping stopped. Almost. We studied 2 more hours, debating studies, formatting sites. I didn't mention Leah,
The blouse.
or his shaky voice. Back in my room, headphones in, I played the audio, library hum. Then Leah, fancy seeing you here. Kyle, what do you want? Just checking on my fave future bro-in-law. We've been together 8 months. No rings yet. Chair scrape. You're slumming it in D2 ball. Taylor's safe. But I could make it exciting. She's back soon. Leah's tone dropped. You're with her out of habit. I could show you real fire. My nails dug in. Kyle. Back off for good. Leah laughed. Dorian said that too.
Till Finn tåket sense.
Who's Finn? Old friend who gets the score. Standing sound. Think it over. Kyle Reynolds. Chances like this don't loop back. I replayed it thrice. Noting tactics, gaslighting, scarcity,
Threats.
but Finn rang bells. Search, Finn Landry basketball. Results, point guard for Arizona State. Career nuked 3 years ago in a playoff knee injury against U of A.
Kyle's team.
His profile linked cousin Dorian, my ex. Photos showed Finn at a party. Leah in the background in her red conquest dress. It clicked, not jealousy. Revenge. Kyle was on court for Finn's injury. Not love, payback.
Calm washed over me.
For once, I saw the whole game board. Not about us, I whispered. About control. It should have scared me. Instead, it felt like power. Sunday dinner at a bustling steakhouse in Scottsdale. I arrived 30 minutes early, intentional. The hostess, with a warm southwestern smile, checked. Morgan party of 4 at 7. Your sister requested the cozy back booth, romantic vibe. Of course. Actually, can we switch to that window table? I pointed to one up front.
Amid Dines.
Sunset glowing. Love the people watching. She hesitated but obliged. Sure thing. I sat facing the door in my simple white sundress. Checklist mental. Sarah to bump in at 7:15, teammates at 7:20, phone ready to record. Kyle arrived, tall in a navy shirt, kissing my cheek lingeringly. You look amazing. Thanks. I squeezed his hand as he sat beside me. Still think we could have done this solo? Family matters to you, he murmured. About Leah. The door opened. Chatter dipped. Leah entered in a fiery red dress. Hugging curves. Low neckline. Short hem, turning heads.
Sadi.
Traffic, she said, hugging me with overpowering perfume. She sat across, facing Kyle.
Ki.
Congrats on the scholarship, Buzz. Not locked yet, he said stiffly. But it will be, I added proudly. Coach Diaz is pumped. Drinks ordered. Water for me. Margarita for her. Matching her dress.
No accident.
Chat flowed. Leah probing Kyle's season.
Plans.
Surface sisterly. I dropped my napkin. Spotting under table. Her foot between his legs.
Hail dangling.
His knees clamped. Body angled away. I straightened. Face blank. Restroom, I said. Texting Sarah, go time. Returning. The scene had shifted. Leah leaning in. Hand on Kyle's wrist. Laughing. He pulled back as I neared. Taylor. Sarah called from the entrance, waving like it was fate. Behind her, 3 of Kyle's teammates grinned. Sarah? What a coincidence. Leah's smile froze. Post-practice munchies, said Marcus. The captain. Dragging chairs over. Mind if we crash? Celebrating Kai's scholarship too. The more, the merrier, I said before Leah could protest. Relief flooded Kyle's face as the table grew crowded. Leah scooted back. Foot retreating. Settled. I raised my glass. A toast to honesty and loyalty. The bedrock of real bonds. Sarah nodded knowingly. Teammates cheered. And to my new psych project on manipulation tactics. Greenlit by Professor Ramirez. Leah's margarita trembled, sloshing. Her mask cracked sharp. Icy. Interesting, but maybe not dinner talk. Perfect timing. Actually, I replied. Smile steady. The evening turned lively with teammates' banter.
Leah sidelined.
No more undertable games. 2 days later.
Imogen Hayes.
Wildcat Whispers top reporter. In a bustling coffee shop near campus. My evidence folder sat prominently. Didn't peg you for spilling tea, she said. Laptop ready. I nudged the folder. Not tea truth. She eyed it. About the trending cis-BF drama? Deeper, a pattern hitting multiple folks. I opened it. Photos. Screenshots. Notes, not all. Just hooks. 3 years. 5 relationships. Jenna scanned. Spotting names. This is systematic. Psych major perk. Timestamps match setups. A photo lingered. Leah with an ASU baller. Pre-Kyle. Identical poses. What now? Watch the rooftop bash Saturday at Desert View Apartments. Sunset start. Jenna tapped her pen. Not just gossip? Would I waste your time? She nodded. I'll show.
No promises.
Just eyes open. Thursday night. A soft knock. Leah. Eyes red. Mascara streaked, distraught. Real or not? Can we talk? I let her in, tapping record discreetly. I've been reflecting on us. The mess.
Y set distant.
Have you? Struggling since Dad's work trips ramped up.
Mom's. Well.
You know. Familiar ploy. Family blame shift. What struggles exactly? She paused and used probes. Craving attention. Unhealthy ways. Partial truth. Maybe counseling? Just us sisters. Trap. Refuse. I'm cold. Agree. She spins it. I'll consider. She grabbed my hand. I allowed it. Feeling zilch. Want my sister back. Saturday's rooftop glowed golden. String lights prepped. Music thumping softly over desert views. I manned refreshments. Kyle handed me punch I wouldn't sip. Stunning, he said.
Tense.
She's at 3:00. Leah in a sky blue dress. Drawing eyes as she approached.
Key.
Quick private chat.
Kyle stiffened.
Around us. Murmurs quieted. Say it here, he said firmly. Jenna lurked nearby. Phone up, her team angled. Leah's face softened. Important. She stepped in, kissing him smooth, timed for clicks. Kyle shoved back. What the hell? Phones buzzed. Whispers live-fed. We're done, I said clearly. Leah's shock hit. You set this up.
No.
You did. I ensured witnesses.
3 days on.
I entered Dean Alvarez's office. Folder in hand, evidence compiled legally, public photos, consensual texts, one-party consent recordings, Arizona law. Miss Morgan. I've reviewed, she said. Leah's on probation. Leadership roles paused for review. Relief bloomed, not vengeance. Validation. Student Affairs released this. A statement on conduct. Your studies. Focusing on family psych. Professor Ramirez mentoring. 2 weeks later. I penned the toughest letter. Mom. Choosing health over facade. For 22 years. I've grinned through pain. Need boundaries now. Love. Taylor. Dad called. I missed the signs.
Sorry.
Kiddo. His voice broke. First deep talk in ages. Tuesdays and Thursdays. I joined a campus support group. Siblings of dysfunctional dynamics. Sandwiched between yoga and trivia night. We shared unfiltered truths. Kyle and I hiked a moonlit trail one night. Stars blanketing the sky. Should have flagged her advances sooner, he said. Would I have trusted it? Or echoed Mom's overreacting? He held my hand. How to rebuild trust. Step by step. Eyes wide. A letter from Colorado arrived months later. Leah's script. You exposed me. Maybe that's what I needed. I read it. Unlike before. Graduation dawned like a new horizon. My psych honors medal gleamed as I scanned the crowd. Leah's seat filled by her. Tentatively, parents closer, Kyle cheering. Outside, freshmen buzzed about that Morgan sisters saga. She gathered proof like a pro, total boss. I smiled. No longer chained. That night, I tucked Leah's letter beside my medal in a cedar box. Fingers lingering. Some sisters clash like thunderstorms. Others teach growth through the rain. But wait, the story wasn't fully over. In a humane twist, Leah reached out post-probation, admitting her revenge stemmed from feeling overshadowed in our family, amplified by Finn's bitterness. We started therapy together, unpacking years of neglect, Mom's favoritism.
Dad's absence.
It wasn't easy. Sessions raw as desert winds. Kyle supported, attending some. The lesson? Forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's choosing understanding over grudges. Building bridges where walls once stood. Our family dinners evolved. Honest talks over brisket. No more facades. Leah dated healthily. I thrived in grad school. Revenge faded. Healing bloomed like spring cacti. The fallout from the rooftop wasn't the scorched earth revenge I'd once imagined. Instead, it sparked a chain of revelations that humanized the mess. Dean Alvarez's review uncovered more anonymous tips from other students about Leah's boundary crossing, not just with athletes but in social circles. Nothing criminal. Arizona's laws on harassment require threats or repeated unwanted contact, but enough for mandatory counseling and a no-contact order with involved parties during probation. I didn't push for expulsion. That felt too final, too lacking in grace. We recommend family mediation, the dean suggested. Patterns like this often root deeper. I mulled it over during a solo drive through the red rocks of Sedona, windows down, hot wind whipping my hair. The old me would have slammed the door. The new me saw opportunity. Leah's letter from her aunt's place in Colorado detailed her side. Finn fed my anger after his injury. Blamed Kyle. Then you four stealing spotlight in our family. I twisted it into payback. Stupid. Hurtful. Humane didn't mean excusing. It meant acknowledging pain's ripple. I replied. Therapy? Neutral ground. She agreed. Our first session with Dr. Vargas in Phoenix was tense as a standoff. Leah fidgeted in her chair, avoiding my eyes. I felt invisible, she admitted. Mom praised your grades. Dad bonded over your hikes. I chased attention the wrong way.
Dr.
Vargas nodded. Classic displacement, projecting family wounds onto relationships. I shared my hurt. Boyfriends poached. Achievements eclipsed. It wasn't rivalry, it was sabotage. Tears flowed, walls cracked. Kyle joined later sessions, voicing betrayal, but openness to forgive. We all got scars from that court collision, he said. Finn's name surfaced. Turns out, he'd manipulated Leah, too, nursing grudges from his lost NBA dreams. Legally, we navigated clean. No lawsuits. Just university protocols. Arizona's one-party recording consent meant my evidence held without backlash. Whispers app posts faded. Jenna's article focused on campus patterns of emotional manipulation, anonymized for ethics. It sparked workshops on healthy boundaries, turning drama into dialogue. Mom and Dad attended a family session. Awkward at first. Mom deflected. I treated you girls equal.
Dr.
Vargas gently. Favoritism can be subtle. Dad owned up. Work consumed me. Missed the signs. By session 5. Breakthroughs. Leah apologized sincerely. I forgave. Boundaries firm. No more games, she promised. We hugged, real. Not performative. Life normalized in Tucson's rhythm. Kyle and I rebuilt slowly. Date nights at Hole in the Wall to Carious. Hikes in Saguaro National Park discussing futures. Grad school's calling, he said one sunset. Arm around me. But us first, I nodded. With eyes open, Sarah became our cheerleader, organizing group outings to keep things light. Leah returned to campus post-probation, majoring in social work, ironic.
Fitting.
We grabbed coffee weekly.
No agendas.
Learn my lesson, she said. Attention earned, not stolen. The light moral? In the vast West, where horizons stretch endless, grudges shrink you, understanding expands. Family isn't perfect, it's persistent work, like tending a desert garden. Blooms come with patience. Months rolled, holidays approached. Thanksgiving at home felt different. No bombshells, just gratitude. Dad carved turkey, Mom shared stories equally. Leah and I clinked glasses, sisters, scarred but stronger. As graduation loomed, I reflected on the journey. The old story's revenge arc evolved into redemption. No suspensions lingered. Leah graduated too, with honors in her new path. Cal deferred pro tryouts for us. The lesson echoed softly. Revenge tempts like a mirage, but truth and empathy quench deeper thirsts. In western skies, storms pass, clarity remains. To fill, more details on therapy. Session 2. Leah revealed childhood jealousy, me as golden child, her as wild one. You got the praise, I got the lectures. I countered. You got the freedom, I got the pressure.
Dr.
Vargas assigned journals. Ours mirrored pains. Kyle shared. That injury haunted me too. Guilt over Finn. We contacted Finn virtually. He admitted bitterness. Apologized. Healing rippled. Community impact. My project became a paper, published in a psych journal, anonymized. Familial manipulation in sibling dynamics, a case study. Professor Ramirez praised. Transformative work. Legally sound, IRB approved. Socially. Bonds mended. Sarah hosted barbecues. Teammates included Leah cautiously. No more whispers. Respect grew. Final hike with Kyle. Proud of you, he said. Us against the world. With the world. I corrected. Lesson light. Choose bridges over burns, growth over grudges. With graduation behind us, life in the Western Sun took on new hues. I landed a counseling internship in Phoenix, helping families untangle knots like ours. Kyle signed with a minor league team in California, but we made long-distance work, weekend drives along Route 66, talks under starlit skies. Leah moved to Denver for social work grad school, but we Zoomed weekly. Therapy's my lifeline, she shared. No more operations, just open hearts. The humane pivot paid off. One Christmas, back in Scottsdale.
No tension simmered.
Dad retired early, prioritizing family barbecues. Mom joined a book club, softening her edges. Leah brought a genuine boyfriend, no games. We laughed over old photos, acknowledging scars without reopening wounds. Reflecting, the old pattern, betrayal, evidence, exposure morphed into empathy's arc. Legal clarity guided. Arizona's mediation laws encouraged resolution over litigation. No charges, just growth. The light lesson? In life's drama, revenge is a dead-end trail, forgiveness a path to vistas unseen. Sisters teach that best, through storms to clear dawns. Years on, at my wedding to Kyle in a Sedona chapel, Leah as maid of honor toasted, to truth setting us free. Mom teared up, Dad beamed. Family, redefined. The end wasn't vengeance's bang, but healing's whisper. In the American West's vastness, we learned, hold grudges, stay small, release.
Soar.
To detail, post-grad, I published a book on sibling dynamics, drawing from our story, consented, anonymized. It helped others. Leah volunteered at shelters, channeling energy positively. Kyle's career soared. We settled in Tucson, raising kids with open communication. One reunion hike, Leah and I summit, overlooking valleys. Thanks for not giving up, she said. Thanks for changing, I replied. Lesson eternal. Humanity wins when we see beyond hurt. Full closure came gradually. Annual family retreats in the Grand Canyon, hiking.
Sharing. Dr.
Vargas became a friend. Community workshops I led echoed our tale. Break cycles with compassion. Kyle and I's first child. Leah as godmother. Full circle, she whispered. Moral light as desert dawn, in Trin Tam of hearts. Truth illuminates, love redeems. No more drama, just depth.